Sutherland, DJ DeSutter with Rory Jarvis and Britt Irvine and Todd McCracken, Ethan Matawillo, the reigning champion of the world of outriding, and his brother, former world champ, Hayden Matawillo as well. So here we go. Dale Young guides them into that number 4 barrel, brought to us by Wrangler, the Western Original. Gage Flad takes us to the Lennox barrel, heating and air conditioning their pride and joy. And on DJ DeSutter 2 barrel, we find Summit Fleet, your ultimate fleet experience, and Todd McCracken on that number 1 GMC barrel. Heat number 1, quiet on the set. There's the horn and the 2024 GMC Pro Tour of the World Professional Chuck Wagon Association cast their fate to the figure 8, and they are southbound and out of town, out of Grande Prairie, and on that number 1 rail position, Todd McCracken. Obsidian Energy shows some early energy, but DJ DeSutter, the young gun, dueling it out with the wily old veteran as he goes up the middle, but he's got company coming. Dale Young goes to the outside with the Tire Pros, and that's how they line up 3 abreast into that second turn. In behind the pack, Gage Flad with the Outriders posse and all the GMC Outriders right in behind him as they charge down midway through that backstretch run. Dale Young looking good. He's got all the speed you need to take the lead into that third turn. But down along that rail, is it good running on a sloppy track tonight? We're about to find out. Dale Young overtakes the crew to the outside. Todd McCracken, Obsidian Energy, comes to that inside rail, but he's got company. That's young DJ DeSutter and the Pioneer Off-Road coming around the outside and in the back of the pack. They got company coming, but look at Dale Young. Gage Flad in there too, but Dale Young opens him up by 2 with his Outriders in tow, and a picture-perfect opening finish here tonight for Dale Young and the Tire Pro Incorporated. Look at this, he rolls in, Gage Flad to be second, and then you'll find the Sutter team and the team of experience of racing and outriding for many, many years. And this guy, I remember back in 2013 when not only did he capture the Ponoka Stampede Chuck Wagon champion that year, his first year on the World Pro Tour, but he topped the Clean Drive Award of the penalty-free season and the Most Improved Driver Award. Roger Moore, 007 is in. Troy Flad, CIMS Corporation. Evan McGee draws along with Fluid Pro. And Josh Arenik, LO Marketing. Heat number 2, place your bets. There's the horn, and they're off, and the Outriders, the stoves go in. Outriders mount up. Roger Moore KOs his top barrel. Josh Arenik from LO Marketing gets off that bottom of number 1 barrel to take the rail, but it's Roger Moore and the Gangsters that lead things out in front. 1 Outrider yet to go, and back along that rail running a third, you'll find Evan McGee and Fluid Pro, and there's a lot of fluid flowing out there on the sloppy track tonight. And that's the way they roll into those turns, and these guys are on a mission. Then you'll see Troy Flad, CIMS Corporation, trailing the pack, but up on the front end, it's Hightower, Josh Arenik, LO Marketing and Design. He's opened the gap up to just over a wagon length, and he's got Roger Moore to the outside, but Roger's got company coming. On the inside, it's Evan McGee, Fluid Pro Oil Field, flowing inside, and he's going to put the challenge. He's going to put the challenge on Josh Arenik as Josh Arenik rounds that turn and sets him up for the Hub International Home Stretch Drive. Grande Prairie, it's your turn to come alive. The louder you cheer, the quicker you get here. It's Josh Arenik and LO Marketing and Design. Best of company by a length and 3/4. Closing ground is Evan McGee and Fluid Pro at the Tree Line Well Services finish line, and then it's the Gangsters with Roger Moore just ahead of Gold Buckle and the Aggregate Buckle as well in our Ralph Deegan Memorial Aggregate race that will be determined on Saturday night. Here comes Troy Dorchester, and this young guy with Pure Chem Services got some fine-looking thoroughbreds this year. Cruz Benz Miller Bonnets is in. Jordy Fike, full force, and Kirk Sutherland. Captain Kirk, beam me up, Scotty. It's race time. Heat number 3. Quiet on the set. Whoa, pony, easy now. There's the horn, and the charge is underway, and it's a quick one for Cruz Benz Miller and Bonnets Energy. But look at this guy, Kirk Sutherland, the wily old Lenton, Captain Kirk. Beam me up, Scotty. He's got the rail, he's got the lead, and he's got the young gun. The wily old veteran and the young gun. Cruz Bensmiller and Kirk Sutherland dueling it out into that second turn. One outrider just leaving town. Up in the middle of the track, running a hard closing third, you'll find Troy Dorchester and his Pure Chem Services wagon. In behind him, Jordy Fike and Full Force Ventures. But look at this piece of history on the front end. Kirk Sutherland has raced against 4 generations of the Bensmiller family, and now he's got problems with that 5th generation. Cruz Bensmiller cruising around the outside of him, hanging in there stride for stride with Captain Kirk on the inside. And now Troy Dorchester, Pure Chem Services, cranks up the heat from the backside to the outside with Jordy Fike, Full Force Ventures, putting on the pressure. And that's how they round that 4th and final turn. Here's a little mud in your eye, Captain Kirk, as we point him southbound. It's Cruz Bensmiller, Bonnet's Energy, and Captain Kirk coming to the inside with Iron Pine, but the young gun gets him today. Cruz Bensmiller cruises over that tree line. Well Services finish line a length ahead of Kirk Sutherland, just ahead of Troy Dorchester, and Jordy Fike rolls in to be 4th. Across Weston Sutherland, last year's top rookie award winner, and Lane Flad with Brendan Nolan and Roger Moore coming out of retirement. I'm impressed. Now let's check this out. This game with Lane Flad, Sniper Services, goes to that number 4 Wrangler barrel. Wranglers available at Keddy's, Taft and Western Wear. I've seen them all this morning. Dean Drager, Regulators Oil Field to the Lennox Air Conditioning and Heating. Dustin Gorst, Optimum Equipment on that number 2 Summit Fleet. And the GMC 1 barrel with the Diamond, Dayton Sutherland. Let's do it. Heat 4. There's the horn, and they're off. A quick start, a clean start. Well, as clean as you can get on a muddy track. However, Lane Flad taps his top barrel, and there goes the Diamond. Dayton Sutherland shining in the mud tonight. His jersey coming out of the back of that jacket of that wagon. Now look at Dayton. Nordic Energy, he's got the rail. He's got Dustin Gorst, Optimum Equipment, easing in up alongside of him, but Dustin's got some tough competition in Dean Drager and Regulators Oil Field to the outside. Now 4 wide, high, wide, and handsome is young Lane Flad with Sniper Services. He tapped the top of that 4-barrel. He's got some penalties, but this is about as an even as wagon race as you can get. Dayton Sutherland, Nordic Energy. We're going to find out where the Terra Firma is the firmest out there in that 3rd turn is now Dean Drager. Regulators Oil Field hauling puts the pressure on that pesky nephew of his, that young Dayton Sutherland. Yep, uncle's in the lead, and nephew's got the rail. Here they come. Dean Drager, Regulators Oil Field hauling, setting up for the Hub International Home Stretch Drive. Grand Prairie, here's your team. Dayton Sutherland on the inside, Uncle Dean on the outside, and they're putting the pressure on him. Dean Drager, here comes Diamond Dayton back to put it on Dean, but Dean Drager, Regulators by a nose at the wire over Dayton Sutherland, and then you'll find Lane Flad roll in with Dustin Gorst in hot pursuit. And that's a wrap in heat number 4. Hayden Modelo, my eyesight's failing me up here in the mud. Here comes Tough Drager. Compass Access Solutions. DJ King, the big guy from Meadow Lake, right alongside. Preston Faithful, Frog Lake on 2, and Todd Baptiste on 1. Heat 5 about to come alive. There's the horn, and they're off, and a quick start for Tough Drager. Compass Access Solutions. He points his compass southbound and out of town in a hurry tonight. The young gun with his eagle feather flying is 2 lengths ahead of the pack as he makes his way around that track between the first 2 turns. One outrider right alongside, and in behind him, Tough Drager can hear the squishy hoop beats of Preston Faithful with M&H Dump Services tucked in along the rail. We find Todd Baptiste and Soar Oil Field. That rail advantage may or may not pay off. Back of the pack, we find DJ King in the Grand Prairie Airport coming off runway number 3. He's got some ground to make up, but that young gun is showing the veterans how it's done. Tough Drager, Compass Access Solutions, covering the track, laying them down a length and a quarter, and now Preston Faithful, M&H Dump Services. At his left elbow is the big lead team now of Todd Baptiste and Soar Oil Field, and that's how they round that 4th and final turn with DJ King in hot pursuit. We are southbound, headed to the wire, and it is the guy with the plan, the man with the plan. He's got him handled. Look at this race. We got 4 wagons coming at the wire. Who's going to get there first? It's a close 3-wagon race, but it's Grande Prairie Airport. And DJ King that noses out Preston Faithful just ahead of Todd Greger. And Todd Baptiste, a closing 4th. And that former Pinoca champion, Rocky Mountain House champion, Medicine Hat, even High River, and here in Grande Prairie 2 years ago, he was the guy that got it done. Swab Pro on 4, Cody Ridgedale. O'Cheese Business goes to that Lennox Heating Barrel 3. Darcy Flad to the Summit Fleet 2-barrel with Kimber's Creation, and Chance Bensmiller, Ken Sargent GMC on the number 1 GMC barrel. Heat 6. Let's do it. Whoa, big fella. There's the horn, and they're off. A quick start it is for Doug Irvine off that 4-barrel Swab Pro. And he gets out there as a pro driver to take the early lead. Ducks in tight to that rail, and look at this race. It's Cody Ridgedale. O'Cheese running second, but he's held 3 wide by his nearest competitor, Darcy Flad and Kimber's Creations. Tucked back along the rail is Chance Bensmiller. My wife calls him Rip, and he's ripping along the inside of that track, running 4th for now. But look at this runaway on the front end. Doug Irvine, Swab Pro, with a great start off that number 4 barrel, leads the backstretch drive by nearly 4 wagon lengths. And now Cody Ridgedale makes a move to the outside of Darcy Flad's Kimber's Creations. He's taken over second by a horse length over Darcy into that 3rd turn. Now Chance Bensmiller, Ken Sargent GMC. He can hear the thundering hooves of the Outriders passing him as they get in hot pursuit of their lead wagon. And that lead wagon right now is a fast one. Doug Irvine, Swab Pro, sets him up for the Hub International home stretch drive, and he will be the guy first across that tree line. Well Services finish line. Nobody going to catch Doug Irvine tonight. The former champion and Swab Pro get there by 2 1/4 lengths, and then rolls in Darcy Flad just ahead of Cody Ridgedale, and in behind Chance Bensmiller with Ken Hayden Molly, Kurt Bensmiller, Brendan Nolan, and Rory Armstrong. I'm not sure I've got the right list for this operation, but it should be close. In the meantime, I think I do have the wrong list. Rory Jarvis and Dayton Sutherland are on 4. Ethan and Weston are on 3. And Hayden and Rory are on 2. And Trey and Brendan are on 1. I got the right one. Here we go. Kurt is in. Mitch Sutherland alongside. Chance Thompson, Chance Flad. Complete the field as heat number 7 rolls on in. Place your bets. Quiet on the set. There's the horn, and they're off. Stoves go in, Outriders mount up, and here they come. Mitch Sutherland KOs his top barrel, and then Chance Flad, Astro Oilfield gets out there to match leads and strides with Mitch Sutherland as they go out 1 and 2 into that 1st turn. In behind Chance Thompson, Thatchwood Ventures tight to that rail. He's now 4th, thanks to Kurt Bensmiller and Triple Threat Diesel, who came off that number 3 barrel to capture the number 3 spot in that 2nd turn race. It is Mitch Sutherland, CDN controls around the outside. He's got a barrel penalty hanging on him. And then you go to the inside, and that's Chance Flad and Astro Rentals, but he can hear the thundering lead team now as Kurt Bensmiller, Triple Threat Diesel, pulls up, woes up. He needs a hole. You can't pass what you can't catch, and right now he's in a spot. But up on the front end, Chance Flad and Astro Oilfield Rentals renting a little space on the rail. Now watch Kurt Bensmiller. He's trying to get in on that rail, but he's got no room. He's pulling for all he's worth. He's got a team with all the speed you need to take the lead. But as we set up for the home stretch drive, the Hub International home stretch drive, here comes Chance Flad. He's going flat out. Now Kurt Bensmiller sneaks to the inside, opens him up, and look at this finish. Another thriller from Bensmiller as Triple Threat Diesel. Kurt Bensmiller by a half a length over Chance Flad. Chance Thompson just in ahead of Mitch Sutherland, and wow, that's a come-from-behind victory story like no other we've seen. And Cale Lajeunesse, who joins us from the Canadian Pros. Here we go. Ray Crotto Jr., his biggest cheerleader, his wife Ashley Hadley at kicks, Cora and Ava, their kids. Ray Crotto Jr. has won 11 show championships in our WPCA as the Rainbow Rider takes the tech group to 4. Ross Knight, RT Reynolds guides him in. Chris Molly, Circle M Stable Friends, and Lightning Luke Tournier, Paderni's on 1. Heat number 8. Don't be late. There's the horn, and they're off, and Chris Molly, friends of Circle M, circle that top barrel, skin it, however, put it down with the hub, and he gets out there to take the early lead with Luke Tournier tracking him to the inside, Ross Knight to the outside, and Ray Crotto Jr. takes the Rainbow to the far side. 4 wagons in now. It is Chris Molly and friends of Circle M. He's got the lead into that second turn, but only by a wagon length. And you'll find some tough company coming alongside of him. Ross Knight and RT Reynolds hanging in there stride for stride. Luke Tournier from the Duck Lake Dynasty. He's got that inside rail, and look at him now putting the pressure on middle runner Ross Knight. To Ross's right shoulder is now the big wheel team of Ray Crotto Jr. and the Tech Group, and a wall of GMC Outriders in behind. But look at that guy on the front end. It's Chris Molly, friends of Circle M Stables. Unfortunately, top of his 2-barrel down, laying on the track as he rounds the turn for the Hub International home stretch drive. Oh, the louder you cheer, the quicker we'll get here. Chris Molly, former Calgary champion, opens him up a notch. He's got company a-coming. 3 wagons taking a run at him as Lightning, Luke Tournier, and Perdernes put on a final dash. Can he get the cash? At the wire, it's going to be a dead heat. Oh my goodness, too close to call. Luke Tournier and Chris Molly rolled in neck and neck, and right in behind him, Ross Knight and Ray Crotto Jr. April with his D9 Cat pushing 4 feet of snow off his track over there in Weeks, Saskatchewan. And I'm watching the dust blow by in Lake McGregor, Alberta. Well, this year we flipped it. We're wet, he's dry. Here comes Wade and VJV Marketing. Chad Fike, Tomco Group of Companies to 3. The Lennox Barrel, Summit Fleet 2-barrel, Fraction Energy, Lane McGilvery, and Aubrey Monowillo, Dynamic. And that number 1 GMC barrel, they're Dynamic. Heat 9 is in line, quiet on the set. The horn and they're off, and Tomco Group of Companies, Chad Fike, rounds the turn with company to the outside. There goes Wade Salmon and VJV Livestock. 4 wagons now across the track as Lane McGilvery and Fraction and Bonnets gets in there, and then Aubrey Monowillo with some dynamic speed and dynamic energy hangs tight to that rail, and he will put the pressure on our front runner, who is Chad Fike and the Tomco Group of Companies. 3 wagons across the track, wheel to wheel as they bang a little steel out of that second turn, and now the spoke dance and the backstretch run begins. Chad Fike and Tomco held 3 wide. Lane McGilvery, Fraction Energy up the middle. Aubrey Monowillo, Dynamic Energy to the inside, and the backside is Wade Salmon's VJV Livestock Marketing. But look at him, he's opening up the gap. The gavel has dropped, the sail begins, and he's putting the pressure on the front runners. Outriders are looking good. Around the turn they come. Aubrey Monowillo tight to that rail, and now he rounds that 4th and final turn for the Hub International home stretch drive. Oh, Grande Prairie, it's your turn to come alive. The sting is successful. Aubrey Monowillo, the Hoadley Hornet, reaches out, but look at this race from the outside. They're putting the run on him. It is Tomco and Chad Fike second by a horse length. Wade Salmon, VJV third, and Bonnets with Lane McGilvery, Fraction Energy Services, rolls in to be number 4.